Have you ever wondered why some stories captivate us across time, across cultures, and across generations? Why tales of heroes, villains, wise mentors, and transformative journeys seem to echo in every movie, myth, and even your favorite TV shows? It's as if these stories are not just entertainment, but reflections of something ancient, buried deep in our collective soul. Welcome to a journey through the symbolic blueprint of human experience, where myth meets psychology and timeless tales reveal timeless truths. Welcome to the Unfolding Journey YouTube channel. Here, we dive deep into mythology, psychology, symbolism, and the hidden patterns of human consciousness. Whether you're a mythology enthusiast, a Jungian psychology fan, or just someone curious about the deeper layers of storytelling, you've found your tribe. If this kind of content resonates with you, you're in the right place. Today, we're exploring archetypes, the universal characters and themes that populate both ancient myths and modern media, through the lens of Carl Jung's analytical psychology. Let's unfold the mystery together. 1. What are archetypes? A Jungian primer. Carl Gustav Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and founder of analytical psychology, proposed that beneath our individual consciousness lies a vast collective unconscious, a psychic inheritance shared by all humans. Within this realm live the archetypes, innate, universal prototypes for ideas and behaviors. Think of archetypes as psychological organs. Just as everyone has a heart and lungs, everyone has access to the same fundamental characters and patterns embedded in the psyche. Jung identified several core archetypes, including the hero, the shadow, the anima/animus, the wise old man/woman, the trickster, the self, the ultimate center of wholeness. These are not just fictional characters, they're reflections of the inner figures we all carry, influencing our dreams, fears, ambitions, and choices. 2. Archetypes in myth, echoes from the collective unconscious. Ancient myths from around the world are rich with archetypal themes. From Greek legends to Norse epics, from the Bhagavad Gita to African folklore, we find familiar characters and plots repeating across time and geography. Let's look at a few examples. The hero's journey, the hero archetype. Think of Odysseus in Homer's Odyssey, or Arjuna in the Mahabharata. The hero is called to adventure, faces trials, receives aid from a mentor, and returns transformed. This is what Joseph Campbell later called the monomyth, and it's heavily rooted in Jungian archetypes. The wise mentor, the sage archetype. Whether it's Chiron, the centaur who trains Greek heroes, or the goddess Isis guiding seekers in Egyptian mythology, the wise figure symbolizes inner wisdom and guidance. The shadow. In myths, the shadow often takes the form of a monster, demon, or fallen god, externalizing the dark, repressed parts of the psyche. Think of the Minotaur in the Labyrinth or the serpent in Eden. Myths aren't just old stories. They are symbolic maps of the human soul. They reflect the internal drama of becoming whole. 3. Archetypes in modern media. Ancient figures in new forms. Fast forward to the 21st century. Archetypes are everywhere. In fact, the most successful stories in film, TV, and literature draw deeply from this mythic reservoir. Let's decode some familiar examples. The hero, Luke Skywalker, Star Wars. George Lucas openly acknowledged Jung's influence in Joseph Campbell's The Hero with 1,000 Faces. Luke's journey from naive farm boy to galactic savior mirrors the classic hero's arc. He's guided by a mentor, Obi-Wan, confronts his shadow, Darth Vader, and ultimately integrates his own dark side to become whole. The Anima, Trinity, the Matrix. In Jungian terms, the anima is the feminine image in the male psyche, an embodiment of soul and emotion. Trinity doesn't just assist Neo, she awakens him. Her kiss literally brings him to life, symbolizing the integration of emotion and consciousness. The shadow, the Joker, the Dark Knight. Batman and the Joker are mirror images, order versus chaos. The Joker is not just a villain. He's Batman's repressed fears and darkest impulses brought to life. This is the Jungian shadow, demanding recognition. The Trickster, Loki, Marvel's Thor series. Mischievous, ambiguous, and often subversive, the Trickster disrupts the status quo and exposes truth through chaos. Loki's popularity isn't just about charm. It's because he taps into an archetypal force that both destabilizes and renews. Even in romantic comedies, horror films, or Pixar animations, archetypes are at play. They're the invisible architecture that gives stories emotional depth and resonance. 4. Why archetypes matter, personal and collective meaning. Jung believed that recognizing archetypes isn't just an academic exercise. it's deeply personal. Each of us lives out mythic patterns. The journey of individuation, as Jung called it, is the process of becoming our fullest, most authentic selves. And archetypes are the inner landmarks guiding us. Meeting the shadow means confronting our fears and acknowledging parts of ourselves we've ignored. Following the hero's call means stepping into courage and transformation. Encountering the wise mentor may be about discovering intuition, spirituality, or guidance from within. The Anima/Animus speaks to integrating emotion, vulnerability, or assertiveness. When we see archetypes in media, it stirs something within. We identify with the journey because we are on that journey, whether consciously or unconsciously. This is why stories move us. They mirror the evolution of our soul. 5. Archetypes and culture, shaping identity and society. Archetypes don't just shape individuals, they shape cultures. Nations create mythic narratives to define themselves. Heroes who fight for justice, enemies who represent the collective shadow. Advertising leverages archetypes too. Think of the rugged cowboy, the explorer, the loving mother, the caregiver, or the rebel youth, the outlaw. But archetypes can also limit us when we become stuck in one role. For instance, a culture that over-identifies with the hero archetype may glorify conquest while ignoring collaboration or healing. Awareness of archetypes helps us evolve. It invites us to ask, what roles are we unconsciously playing? What archetypes are missing in our lives? What parts of ourselves are we being called to integrate? 6. Archetypes in dreams and the inner world. Jung spent decades studying dreams, which he believed were direct messages from the unconscious. Archetypal figures often appear in dreams as symbols, sometimes terrifying, sometimes inspiring. For example, dreaming of a wise old woman could signal inner guidance or intuition. Encountering a dragon may symbolize an internal obstacle or hidden power. Seeing a child may point to innocence, potential, or a need for renewal. Understanding archetypes in your own dreams is like unlocking a personal myth, a living, breathing story unfolding within you. 7. The self, the ultimate archetype. For Jung, the highest archetype is the self, the totality of who we are. It represents unity, integration, and psychological wholeness. Myths about resurrection, sacred marriage, or the philosopher's stone all point toward this ultimate synthesis. Movies like The Lion King, The Matrix, or even Inside Out are ultimately about this inner integration, the reconciliation of opposites, the journey toward balance. The self isn't a final destination, it's a lifelong unfolding. And archetypes are the signposts along the way. Myths are not dead stories of ancient people. They are living patterns shaping our choices, dreams, fears, and aspirations. Archetypes are the universal language of the psyche, written into our stories, our art, and our lives. Whether you're navigating personal growth, writing your own story, or simply watching your favorite show with new eyes, remember that behind every tale is a deeper truth. You are the hero, the seeker, the dreamer, and the story is still unfolding. Thank you for joining us today on the unfolding journey. If this exploration of archetypes sparked something within you, leave a comment. We'd love to hear what archetypes you see in your favorite stories or in your own life. Sparkles, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the symbolic world. More myth, more meaning, more mind-expanding content is just around the corner. Until next time, stay curious, stay courageous, and keep unfolding.